on this island lives a great creative community. There are script writers here, playwrights, poets, novelists, non-fiction writers. We had music festivals and wine festivals, but nothing had captured the words, and I felt this was a wonderful base to start a book festival.
I think it's great on Waiheke. I think that's really part of the attraction for people, is just being on this beautiful island and a beautiful day and being able to go to restaurants and wineries and just have a good weekend.
I kind of thought of it to encompass so much of what Waiheke's about, which is holiday homes, which we call batches, and boat sheds and barns and those sorts of places, rather than the words and the talks being inside a big plain auditorium. I wanted the destination to speak as well as the writers.
He makes the job of writing poetry look so damned easy, and the poems flow as if they are so easy to write.
Book festivals are great, and this one on Waiheke is terrific because it is small. You know, they're not huge halls, so you can access the writers, talk to them.
Book festivals are places where books can be discussed, and for writers to have the chance to talk about their work.
Book festivals are an opportunity to explore in more depth what authors think. It's an opportunity to talk with people of common interest, but particularly to meet authors, and it gives particularly people who read the works of the authors or poets an insight into what's going on in the creative mind, and where else can you get that?
I think one of the big benefits of festivals is that bringing readers and writers together, because the whole act of writing is done in isolation, and it's just putting a face to that writer for the readers, and also for the writers. It's actually really good to spend a bit of time with people who are reading their works, and so get a bit of feedback, get a bit of interaction with them, find out why they like it, all that kind of thing. So I think it's magic that you can do that.
Even in this era of e-books and Kindles and buying your books online, that people just love to be near an author. And there is a kind of veneration, I suppose, but I think people love to hear an author read from their own work, to hear a bit of the background story.
You get a whole continuum of performances and interactions. Fantastic.
But then I saw them again, and they were a threesome on the Kudam, a little gang of three, completely improbable, mysterious in their own way, bobbing along in search of a favourable landfall.
We did the homage to Hone Tūwhare. We had his biographer there, we had his son there.
The only land I have is that beneath my toes.
We had a jam session, we ended up playing Hone's poems to song. It was just cool, I loved it. It's just lovely, it just colours out the character of the individual, and he sang great blues. I mean, it's not even in the biography. Where do you find that?
I really enjoyed the Friday night film focus.
The Beatles books were the reason for my first film, which I crazily decided to make a film about the Beatles. I mean, how crazy can you be? Before Chuck Berry.
We've had so many fantastic art events and literary events now. It's just a great community facility. We think it's a great thing to do, to provide the barn for art events.
Should I be closer to the crepe trailer?
Well, today's very exciting. Sam Hunt is such a name in New Zealand poetry.
My eyes are sore. I'll leave them on for a while, see how we get on. I don't like very dark glasses when I'm talking, but then I have to close my eyes. No, I have to look. It's called October in the Bay. Get on with the bloody poem. Here we go. Their mating is taking place. It's about a couple of our neighbours. Their mating is taking place blatantly in front of us. A couple of blue, white-faced heron. They can teach us a thing or two or three on 4-day play. For 4 days now, around our bay of bright painted shacks, a couple of heron have pecked and played and shied, and out of nowhere flown past in unison and pendulous flight.
My dream as a poet on Waiheke is to see Waiheke becoming a centre for excellence for the arts, especially literary arts as well as the visual arts, and to see more and more people seeing Waiheke as a place where writers actively are involved in performing and talking about writing.
One of the most magic things is to hear a writer or a poet read their own work aloud, because they know it so intimately the words as they speak. They've written those words, and it's such an intimate part of their own writing, and so when they speak it, the tone, the pace, it communicates magnificently, and it's just something that's a very special thing to happen. In a minute it's lost on the air, but for that few moments while you're listening, you get quite transported into their world and their experiences.
I often think that the writers are cultural thinkers. You know, they are the people who are kind of putting in words ideas and concepts that we struggle to form otherwise. And so I think people just love that experience.
Brings the words alive.
Absolutely.
Makes them real.